So recently, someone smuggled in a copy of Squid Game in North Korea, and that person was sentenced to execution. Now, we're not going to be reading the article. It's more just going to be me giving my perspective, my thoughts on this, because I do think this is probably the most serious topic we've talked about here on the channel. But just to give you a brief summary and give you some context, some of the people involved in the whole, in North Korea, if you didn't know, I would actually recommend you do some research on North Korea. But North Korea is a very one. It's either the worst or the single-handedly worst place to live in. The humans that live in North Korea have no rights. All of their rights are taken away. Everyone there is forced to worship a dictator who clearly is a psychopathic murderer. Everyone there is forced to live by some laws. The stupidest, the most devastating place in the world to live in, which is obviously North Korea. And just to give you an example of that, someone smuggled in a copy of Squid Game, and instead of getting in trouble by a slap on the hand, maybe getting arrested, no, they're being sentenced to execution. And some of the people involved are forced into labor camps. And you can read I read the entire article. This video is not going to be me reading the article. It's just going to be me giving my perspective on it. But before we start off today's video, y'all make sure to smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notification bells. That way you notify future content here on the channel. My name is Isaac. I'm the host of Your Multiverse of Movies, where we cover everything in the wonderful world of movies. But sadly, today is not a wonderful topic to discuss. Also, go buy some merchandise if you would like to. Yeah, link description down below. Follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Isaac the Foam Geek. But anyways, let's get into the topic today. The topic today is obviously what I just mentioned. And again, if you don't know anything about North Korea, I really recommend you do some research on North Korea. I know some people may not know about North Korea, but, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's the worst place to live in. The humans that live in North Korea are not even treated as human beings. And to hear this news, someone in a USB port, they smuggled in a copy of Squid. First of all, I don't even know how he was able to do that. I'll be honest right now. I cannot fathom how. I don't know how you get something from South Korea, because I know in North Korea, obviously, you're not allowed to watch entertainment from other places besides North Korea. The news is also only North Korean, and they're especially much more strict on South Korean stuff, because everyone knows South and North Korea have massive tension. But overall, it's sad to know that in North Korea you get executed for bringing in a copy of a show. And yes, look, the show does go into how that North Korea sucks. There's a character in Squid Game that is a North Korean refugee, and she came into South Korea for a better life, and you do see that. And I believe it's more than just one. There's two, but I'm not going to say. I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just leave it as that. But even then, sentenced to execution. And the thing is, this is not the worst thing North Korea has done. They leave their people starving. They leave their people with no rights. Some people lose their families over the smallest things. People have to fear losing their lives over the dumbest things. And, I'm not going to talk much about that, but I do think as movie fans, we need to acknowledge the story, because we're privileged. Every one of us right now watching this video, we are much more privileged than North Koreans, because all of us, we can quickly go on our Roku, our Google Chromecast, our PlayStation, Xbox, whatever you watch streaming services on. You can quickly go on Netflix and you can watch all episodes of Squid Games as many times as you want, and you don't have to fear execution. Sadly, in North Korea, that's not the case. Sadly, in North Korea, you have to starve. You have to fear your family's going to die any minute. You have to live in a world where watching a Netflix series of South Korea is a way to death. And it's sad this happened because, as movie fans, we often, I've met a lot of people who believe they're silenced on the internet because they didn't like Last Jedi. How many times I've seen people tell me that because they didn't like Last Jedi, they're now being silenced by Disney shows, or if you hate a Marvel movie, you get harassed. And look, I've been harassed before in the past. I remember the biggest hoax that happened on the channel was whenever I gave a positive review to Suicide Squad. In fact, I gave it a very positive review to Suicide Squad because I loved James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and I got a lot of people messaging me telling me I betrayed Snyder, that I'm a traitor, and it was a crazy whole debacle that happened on my channel. I remember I was even considering just taking a break from YouTube for a while because I was getting a lot of harassment. And then not even that, but there's even been times where I've just said that I'm looking forward to the new Flash film, and I was called a traitor. I was being told I'm betraying. I gave Black Widow, I think it was on a live stream. So I gave Black Widow initially a positive review, but then I watched it a second time, and the more and more I watched it, the less and less I liked it. And I said that on a live stream. Someone was like, "Oh, you're not staying true to your initial thoughts, so you're a fake fan, and you're only." It's like, a lot of people claim they're being silenced. I'll never claim I'm being silenced because obviously I'm here with the microphone, being able to talk to you. Look, here in America, let me tell you this right now: everyone in America is privileged. Everyone in America is. There are third world countries that are suffering. I know, my parents, they come from different parts of the world. And let me tell you firsthand, their countries are much worse than America. In America, we have a privilege. I know not all of you are American. I know I have some subscribers from the UK. I have some subscribers from England. All right. Yeah, ignore that I just said that, but I have subscribers from around the world, but we are mainly privileged compared to the North Koreans. Because really, the reason why I want to bring up this topic in general is because I've heard so many people say, I gave Last Jedi a negative review, and now a lot of SJWs are harassing. It's like, dude, a lot of the times it's just people responding to your criticisms. Really, that's it. You're not being silenced. If you have a platform with that many followers, you're not silenced at all. And I'm so tired and sick. I'm tired of hearing people saying they're being silenced. That like when the Gina Carano stuff happened, everyone was claiming Gina Carano was being silenced. When the reality is, Gina Carano was not silenced. She was fired by Disney because Disney, while yes, Gina Carano has the freedom to believe what she wants and the freedom to tweet whatever she wants, she still has that Twitter account, which has not been deactivated. She's been on a large platform on Ben Shapiro's show. What was it called? Daily Wire, I believe that's what it's called. She's been on many things, but now the only thing that happened is that Disney, while yes, Gina has the freedom of choice, so does Disney. Freedom works both ways, people. And Disney chose to disassociate themselves with Gina Carano. And I heard a lot of people during the time that Gina Carano was being silenced and that no one's letting her speak up because she has her opinions. Dude, that's not what silencing is. If you want to know what silencing is, check out North Korea. In North Korea, you get killed just because you watched a Netflix series. That's it. That's silencing. And if you dare speak out on the dictator, consider you and your entire family dead. And that's sad, it's sad to hear this news coverage. And the reason, again, why I wanted to bring it up is because I'm so sick and tired of certain movie fans believing that they're being silenced. Dude, go to places in the world. Cuba. Go to Cuba. In Cuba, dead. Dead. North Korea, even worse. There are places around the world where you truly get silenced. Over here, you can have a large Twitter following and claim you're still being silenced. It just shows that, we're privileged here in America. I'll admit that right now. We're all privileged. Maybe we don't see it that way. Some people have hardships. Some people have problems. But we all have to acknowledge that we do have higher privileges in North Korea. And, I'm thankful that I'm able to just go on Netflix and watch Squid Game. I'm thankful that I'm able to watch anything I want, nowadays. And it's sad because now when I think of Squid Game and if I ever rewatch the series again, now I'll think, I have this right to watch the show, but some other people are literally losing their lives over it. And that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. But that's going to be my whole, I took out my headphone. That's going to be my whole discussion today. You guys let me know in the comment sections down below. What are your thoughts on the situation? Sorry if I came off as negative in today's video. I'm typically trying to be energetic, fun, positive, but really this isn't something I could be positive over. And again, I bring it up, I obviously can't make a difference. This whole North Korean issue will probably never, ever stop. It's been a big issue for quite some time already. And I just bring it up. And this isn't something I'd ever expect to talk about on my channel, I don't like talking about politics. I don't like talking about world issues. I like talking about movie stuff because, again, this is the multiverse of movies, and we got my boy Black Suit Superman. And again, I keep bringing him up because he is protecting us in the multiverse of movies. And again, please take that into consideration. I'm so tired of people saying they're being silenced and that it's like they're crying man babies. And you guys know who I'm talking about. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. But I hope things can get better. I pray that one day North Korea isn't as it is, and I hope that the people, when they see freedom, I really hope they see freedom someday, because man, like, Squid Game's terrible. I mean, Squid Game, what you when you play Squid Game, yes, you're doomed, and it's a terrible fate, but I can guarantee you that living in North Korea is much worse than playing Squid Game.